Good evening. Today is February the 11th, 2016, and my name is Tori Smith, and I would like to do the daily child trafficking report for the MILABS child trafficking operation, which is run in the United States and abroad. And, I've been fighting these child traffickers for 50 months now. And we have seen a lot of good things happen. There have been a lot of arrests lately. And now we're, the people that everybody knows, I believe, are the next ones to be arrested. Today, 72 children were gang raped and murdered in 3 locations. SOCOM, the United States Southern Command, which is a privately owned child trafficking company, they basically just kidnap children and then deliver them to the Americans who rape and murder them. And then they also murder people in other countries. They brought 72 children in for the Americans to gang rape and murder this morning, and they were distributed to 3 MILABS. And they were brought here on a large cargo plane, and 16 of these children were gang raped on the flight here by 3 Air Force pilots and 22 Navy SEALs. These 16 children, there were 12 girls and 4 boys. And they were all aged 4 to 9 years old. And then they were taken to Washington, D.C. MILAB number 1. 26 children were gang raped by a group of 36 U.S. senators, 2 DARPA employees, 12 Secret Servicemen, 10 CIA agents, and 5 FBI men, including the director's name is James B Comey. He raped 2 Brazilian girls, and Robert S Mueller, who's a former director, raped a little boy and a little girl. Comey, who's the current director of the criminal FBI child raping organization, has raped 176 children and murdered 45 in Luciferian human sacrifices. Mueller has raped 291 children and murdered 76 of them, which is why he's so highly respected in the United States of America. And all these children, the 26 children, were then murdered during rape by 26 United States senators, another group of filthy, lying murderers. Washington, D.C., MILAB number 2 had 37 children delivered to them today, and they were gang raped by 114 men of the CIA, FBI, NSA, TSA, DHS, Secret Service, and 2 U.S. senators. And the 2 U.S. senators and 35 CIA agents won the betting pool, and they were the ones who got to murder the children during rape. And then the rest of the children, there were 9 other children, they were taken to the Pentagon MILAB. And these 9 children were gang raped by a group of 78 men, all Pentagon employees. They're considered quote-unquote top brass. Top brass means the most filthy and disgusting murderers of the Pentagon employees. And 9 Army generals murdered the children during rape while 52 other men watched. And although something, even though I'm still as bitter as always, because it just seems like so few people in this country care, but the ones who do care are high-quality people. And the temporals, which we've talked about before, the artificial intelligence units that the Illuminati get when they join, what they do is they move their soul into the temporal, and the temporal then takes off and travels around, and that's how they can commit their crimes, such as murder and rape and many other horrible crimes that they commit. But Father God has been destroying them like crazy, like over and over again. And what happens is, I don't know how it works with other people, but the way it works with me is, since I'm an energy worker, Father God sends His energy through my head, heart, and hands, and it goes out my hands into the temporal, but it's quite a process. Because when they come in, the first thing they do is install 50 etheric chips in the back of my neck. And then they spray these 17 deadly chemicals into my torso. and also use this energy weapon, which is some type of electromagnetic weapon. And they can also do this. They don't have to be in your house to do this. They can do this from about 50 feet away. Most of them come closer, though. And so then we go through this process. First, I ask God for a cord of light. Well, now I do, because before I would ask God to bind them, which means God would freeze them in their place. Then I would ask for the cord of light, but lately God's just automatically binding them as soon as they're close. And then I ask for the sacred fire. I say, thank you for the sacred fire, and that's a boom. And then what we do is we start pulsing. This energy starts pulsing through me, and it depends on the strength of the temporal. They had a group called the super temporals, but they weren't moving their souls into them, and those were much, much harder to destroy and very exhausting. But back to the regular temporals, because I believe all the super temporals have been destroyed as of so far. They were brought in by the invaders, and then the process stops, and then my palms go to flat, and then they pulse until the temporal explodes, which is quite a process. And then I stop, and my head goes to the side. I do 0-point energy on the back of my neck, and then the angels pull out all 50 etheric chips. Well, they sometimes put up to 100. Sometimes they only put 12, but lately it's always been 50. And they can do this on the go. They can either do this to us in our homes while we're walking down the street. They can do it while we're in the car, over and over and over again. So they come in, they do all their stuff. We destroy each one of them, and then I go through a process where I clear this out, all this stuff, all this nasty energy out of me, and the process repeats over and over and over and over. Thousands and thousands of times I've been through this. But what's happened today is it's very different. Now when they just show up, they automatically explode, and I'm told the galactics are doing it, but my head, I've had such a massive headache today, I can't really connect to anything. Or, well, except to do the child trafficking report, which Mother God puts a special energy field around me to make sure that it's 100% accurate. But the good news is now they're destroying, and I keep hearing it's time to end this. It's time to end this. And so I can't tell you how happy I am that this process has been streamlined, and these men that rape and murder children who use these temporals to commit crimes against the rest of us. Because 90% of American homes have been invaded by these temporals, and people are so worried about privacy on their telephone or whatever, but CIA agents just come down and they sit down at the dinner table with you, and they listen to every word you have to say. And but hopefully that's all about to come to an end. At least the super temporals are gone. And I haven't seen an artificial intelligence drone, the weapons grade ones, I haven't seen them around for about 7 days, which is highly unusual because they would send them in constantly over and over again. And I think as a Sagittarian, it's the repetition that's driving me crazy, because a lot of people say so many bad things about me because I'm doing whatever I can to fight these child traffickers. Of course, I'm the bad guy. This is America. You know, it's like, how dare you want to stop men from raping and murdering children? This is the United States of America. You're a criminal. Well, that's just a matter of perspective. At least now there's a lot of people who support my belief, which is it's wrong to rape and murder children when we're in the minority, but I think that's all about to change, and I love you for it. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your prayers. God bless your hearts. Have a good night. Thank you.